Hi, this is Andrew Moore-Crispin for Gadget TV on Butterscotch.com, and today we're taking a look at the Motorola Atrix. You can get this guy for $600 unlocked, or as low as $170 if you're willing to sign a 3-year contract. And carrier pricing will vary, as well as contract length that you'll have to sign. Now what we have here is a pretty capable dual-core smartphone. What really makes this phone interesting is that when you dock it with the lap dock or the HD dock, which we'll look at in the next episode of Gadget TV, you unlock kind of a new experience. Today we're just focusing on the phone hardware itself. So we have a 4-inch screen here. They call it QHD. The resolution on this guy is, let's see, it's 960 by 540, which is approaching the iPhone's excellent Retina display. And you can see that it's pretty sharp and vivid. It really depends on the application or what you're doing as to whether you're taking advantage of that. But movies look great, pictures look great, YouTube videos, even if they're in HD, look great. Now it is capable of recording 720p video. If we take a quick look on the back here, we can see the 5-megapixel camera recording HD video and the dual LED flash. Now this here is the power button, but it's also a fingerprint sensor, which we'll get to in a moment. Have a look at the other side of the device. We have a simple volume rocker. Here we have the HDMI, mini HDMI port and the micro B USB charging. Now this is also where you'll dock the smartphone if you buy the HD dock or the lap dock accessory. On the back here, this really looks like carbon fiber or metal, but it is actually just plastic. Not exactly the sturdiest thing in the world, but seems to do the job. Snap that on there. So now if I turn the phone off here, open it back up, I can either swipe to unlock like this and input my code. This is obviously something you'll have to set up. However, I can also, it's going to be a little awkward here, but if I swipe my finger down like this, I unlock the phone with my fingerprint. So I can use my index finger on either my right or my left hand, and it is in a pretty natural position if I'm holding the phone like this, just to kind of swipe like this and unlock the phone. So a feature I really like, something that almost makes it, well, I don't want to say acceptable, but more acceptable that Moto Blur is on this phone. Not a huge fan of Moto Blur in general. I just generally don't like the way it kind of bogs down the phone, the way it basically makes your phone a lot more proprietary than it would be if it was just a straight-up Android phone. Now, as I say, it is an Android phone running Froyo, Android 2.2. And all of the Android stuff is all present and accounted for, including, most important, the market. Moto Blur does add some interesting functionality. Most notably, when you connect it to a PC, you can do a lot more than you would with a standard Android phone. When you plug in an Android phone, you generally get option to open up the mass storage that's inside and basically drag and drop files, or tether to use the cellular connection to actually act as kind of a modem. Here, though, we get a lot more options, things like calendar syncing and contact syncing and moving things around on the phone, backing up our contacts and all that kind of stuff. We also, with Moto Blur, do get a pretty reliable backup strategy. But really, if you're using a Google account on a stock Android phone, you get most of that backup stuff anyway. And you know, actually working out a backup solution really usually is as simple as hitting the market and finding an application that's going to work for you. So we can see here, the best test for an Android phone, it's kind of ironic, this is a dual-core phone, is usually just kind of paging through the different home screens to see how it responds. And you'll see a couple of little hiccups where the phone does kind of try to catch up, but for the most part we get a very smooth scrolling experience. it is a dual-core, like I said, 1 gigahertz NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor in here. We're running a gig of RAM as well. Bluetooth 2.1, 802.11a BGN. So pretty much the new standard for smartphone kind of guts. Up here we have a camera, front-facing camera for doing video chat where supported. It's not widely supported yet, but you know, when that comes out, you'll actually be able to do it. The spec on this camera is really hard to find. It turns out it's just, this is probably why it's hard to find. Motorola's not exactly advertising the fact that it's just a 640 by 480 VGA or 0.3 megapixel camera. Suitable, like I said, for just doing face-to-face chat, but not really an interchangeable camera with the back-facing camera, obviously. Now we've kind of harshed on Moto Blur a little bit here, but it does actually add a couple of other interesting features, one of which is something that Android doesn't do natively. So you see if we tap and hold on the screen, we get the standard home screen menu here. Usually with an Android phone you'll get these 4 options. Now we also have Motorola widgets. So some of these are reasonably compelling. If we go down here, let's say we can choose a photo frame. In this case we'll just choose the news. And now we can actually tap and hold on the widget. In addition to being able to drag it down to the trash like we would on a normal Android phone, we can also choose to resize it. So if we tap and hold here, grab one of these corners, we can move the widget around, basically find a lot more options for the size of the widget. So all too often with Android widgets, it's basically you choose 2x1 or 2x4 or 2x2 or whatever it may be. Here we get a lot more options for how we actually want to set up our home screens. And we do have 6 home screens that we can use. So making one of those kind of basically your home screen where you see all of your messages, you see all of your email, you see the latest news and weather and all that stuff, and you are actually able to customize it a lot more to make it kind of work for you. So that's a quick look at the Motorola Atrix. Tune in for the next episode where we're going to actually look at the lap dock accessory that really kind of unlocks a mobile computing experience with the Atrix. For Gadget TV, I'm Andrew Moore-Crispin. For more sweet stuff, visit butterscotch.com.